So one of the first things that you need to be aware of as a buyer on eBay is to make sure that you read the listing properly. And the reason why I say this is because as an eBay seller myself, I know that it's very important to make sure that you list all the details of the product within the actual listing itself. This is because it allows the customer to know exactly what they're buying. And if the customer tries to message me and they want some sort of partial refund, or they try and leave negative feedback, they're not able to do so because I try to make sure with all of the products that I sell that I list the product in as much detail as possible. So if you want to be covered as a buyer for you to be able to get some sort of compensation back for a damaged item or an item that you wasn't expecting, you need to make sure that you read the listing properly. So for example, I've just jumped onto eBay and I've typed in iPhone 7. So let's say for example, you're looking for an iPhone 7, you jump onto eBay, what you're going to do is scroll through just like this. Alright, so I found this listing right here for this phone. Let's say for example, you're happy with the price, £79 is perfect. You know, you're happy with the fact that it's used. What most customers will do in this situation is that they'll just buy it straight away. But it's very important for you to make sure that you scroll down to the bottom. And as you can see from this listing, it says there's a small crack in the bottom of the screen. And it also says, due to the age of this phone, the battery health is not as strong. Now this seller's done the right thing because they've stated all of the issues with the item within the actual listing. And they've made sure to put pictures to illustrate the actual problems with the item. So if we just scroll back up, we can see from the image that there's a crack on the actual picture. So it's very important as a buyer to make sure that you go through all of the pictures and that you go through the listing so that you can see if there's any issues, so that you don't waste your time and you don't waste the seller's time, and you'll be able to, you know, claim some sort of compensation if the seller doesn't state a specific problem with the item. So the second scam that you need to avoid as a customer on eBay is to make sure that if you're going to send an item back to the seller, you make sure that you send it back using a track service. And not only that, make sure that you communicate with the seller through the eBay messages. So the reason why you need to make sure that you send the item back using the track service is because what a lot of scammy sellers do is that they will lie and say that they didn't receive the item back. So if you try and contact eBay and say that you haven't received your refund yet, eBay is going to ask you for some sort of proof to make sure that you did send it back to the seller. So it's very important to make sure that if the item has some sort of value to it, that you send it back using a track service, because most sellers will lie and say that they haven't received it back and there'll be no way of you proving it. And it's also very important to make sure that when you are communicating with a seller on eBay, that you do it through the eBay messages. Don't do it through email, because eBay is not going to be able to see the communication that you've had with the seller back and forth. So the three things that you need to remember as a customer when it comes to buying stuff on eBay is to make sure that you read the listing properly, make sure that you go through the listing in detail so that you're covered under the buyer protection program, as well as making sure that you communicate with the seller through the eBay messages. And not only that, if you're going to send back an item, make sure that you use a track service so that eBay is going to know whether or not you sent it back. Another potential scam that you need to avoid as a customer on eBay is to make sure that you go through the seller's feedback profile. Now you don't have to do this with every purchase. You know, obviously if the item is cheap, then you don't have to do it. But if the item is over $100, $200, you know, if it's a lot of money to you, then I would advise that you take some time to go through the feedback profile. So I've just jumped onto this eBay seller's feedback profile. And as we can see, they're selling really expensive products for £179, £99, £199, £200, you know, really expensive items. And as you guys can see right here, majority of these customers are complaining about either not receiving the item, maybe the item came damaged, maybe the item wasn't in the same condition as it was advertised. So if you want to save yourself time, money, and hassle when it comes to contacting eBay, it will be worth your time to just go through the feedback profile before you make a purchase, because you're going to be able to see whether or not majority of the customers are happy with their purchase or whether they're unhappy with their purchase. Alright, so moving on to some scams that you need to avoid as an eBay seller. First one is that you need to make sure that you don't send out an item until you receive the payment. So I get a lot of DMs on my Instagram from people that say, Sam, I've just sold an item on eBay, but the customer is saying that they want me to send it first and that they'll send me the payment afterwards. And I always try to advise these people to never send out an item until you've received the money from the customer. Now I know this is very obvious, but you'll be surprised at how many sellers out there fall for this. One of the reasons why sellers fall for this scam is probably because customers are probably promising that they're going to pay more for the item than what's advertised on the eBay listing. And because a lot of eBay sellers are trying to make more profit, they see this as an opportunity for them to make more money, when realistically there's a 99% chance that you're going to get scammed. So the first scam that you need to avoid is never ever send out an item until you receive the money first. That's when you can now ship out the order. So if you're an eBay seller and you're looking to start hiring people, whether it's people to help you list products or ship out orders, and you're thinking about giving them access to your eBay account, it's very important to make sure that you don't give them direct access in terms of your email address and password that you personally use when it comes to logging into your eBay account. The reason for this is because I've seen so many different eBay sellers give access to a random person that they probably found on Upwork Fiverr or freelancer.com direct access to their eBay account. And if you do that, that person's going to be able to maybe update the payout information, so they're going to be able to receive your money. Or what that person might do is update the information in terms of who owns this particular eBay account to them. So even if you try to contact eBay and try to let them know that you've been hacked, because you've given that person your email address and your password, they're going to be able to update details in a way that eBay is going to think that it's genuine. So it's very important to make sure that if you are going to give access to any freelancer to do anything with your eBay account, that you do something like this. So I've just jumped onto my eBay store right here. The first thing that you need to do is go to the top left hand corner, click on account settings, and this is the page that you're going to see. Once you're on this page, you need to click on this option right here that says permissions. And then once you're on this stage, you're going to be able to add a new user. By doing it this way, you're not necessarily given direct access to your eBay account, and you're going to be able to set any permissions that this freelancer is going to be able to do. Like for example, they're going to be able to publish and revise listings, download all the reports, manage refunds, etc, etc. So do it this way so that you don't fall victim to any eBay scams in terms of someone making your eBay account their eBay account. One of the most annoying eBay scams that I've personally come across when it comes to being a seller on eBay is when a customer buys an item from me, opens up a return case, and tries to send back either an empty box or an item that I didn't send out. Now with these type of eBay scams, it's a little bit harder for you to prove that this particular buyer is trying to scam you in this way. But if you ever do fall victim to this type of scam where a customer is trying to send back a completely different item or an empty box, the first thing that you need to do is try and contact the customer straight away. And it's very important that you make sure that you detail exactly how the item looked as soon as you received it back. The reason for this is because when it now comes time for you to try and appeal the return request, eBay is going to be able to see the back and forth messages. And I would say at least 50% of the customers that get confronted by sellers that try to send back an item that wasn't necessarily the one that they received, they're either going to own up to it, they're either going to apologize. Now of course, some customers will lie and say nope, that's not the case, they sent back the right item, but there's a small chance that the customer will apologize, and eBay is going to be able to see this within the messages. And if the customer tries to claim that they did send back an item and they didn't send back an empty box, then what you can do in that situation is just jump into your returns page just like this, come to the action section, report the buyer just like that, and then what you can do here is just select the reason as to why you're reporting the buyer. For example, you can click on this one where it says buyer misused returns. From here you can put returned a completely different item or box, etc, etc, whatever the reason is, just select it right here. And what this is going to do is that it's going to help you when it comes to the appeal stage. You're going to be able to let eBay know that you reported the buyer, and then eBay is now going to double check whether or not this buyer has been reported for the same thing before. And if they have, then there's a chance that you're going to be able to win the appeal and get your money back. So one of the final scams that you need to avoid going into the new year is phishing scams. And if you've never heard of this type of scam before, basically it's where someone will send you an email that looks like an email from a legitimate company, whether that's eBay, PayPal, Royal Mail, UPS, whatever the case is, whatever type of company you use with your eBay business, they're going to send you an email that looks like it's coming from a legitimate source. And the result that the scammer is trying to get is that they want you to click on one of the links. And once you do that, you're going to give them some form of information, whether it's your name, your date of birth, or even if it's just your eBay login details. Like for example, if we just jump into my laptop again, this is an email that I got from eBay. So this is a legitimate email, but I just want to give you an example of what you need to look out for. So eBay sent me this email letting me know that my payout has been sent to my bank account. And if this was one of the phishing emails that I'm talking about, if I was going to click on this link right here, it would take me to a page that looks very similar to eBay's page. And then from there, the scammers will now have access to my details because I'm going to think I'm logging into my eBay account. So I get many of these type of emails every single month, whether it's an email that wants me to log into my eBay account or my PayPal account. And the way that you're going to know if it's a legitimate email from eBay is that it needs to end in @ebay.com. eBay is never going to send you an email from something like john@yahoo.com. So it's very important to make sure that you look at exactly who the email came from before you click on any link. So those are the scams that you need to avoid as a buyer and a seller on eBay. But if you want to know exactly what you need to do before you actually start selling on eBay, click the link right there. I made a video breaking down what you need to know before you list your first product on eBay this year. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit the bell notification so that YouTube can let you know when a new video has been released. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.